Hey guys, it's your boy Alec coming back to you. I got a pretty exciting video for you today. We're going to be taking my 100% stock F-150. This has no performance modifications done to it whatsoever. We're going to be taking it from a 0 to 60 of 6.3 seconds, and we're going to turn it into a 4.69 second 0 to 60 with some custom tuning. We're going to get right into starting to flash this thing and get some revisions done, and you guys are going to see the times drop like crazy. There's all kinds of reasons that I ended up custom tuning this truck. Of course, the first one is you want it to be faster and make more power, and we definitely achieved that. There's also some other issues. This being a 5-liter Coyote V8 with the 10-speed, it's a little bit clunky in between gears, and the truck really does not seem like it knows what it wants to do with shifting and that kind of stuff. It'll jump from third to sixth to fifth to second, and it's just all over the place. So there was also the interest in changing up the transmission tuning on the truck so that it's a little bit more driver friendly. And one of the other concerns or issues that I had with the factory tuning was it wasn't super responsive to your throttle, the pedal that you were putting into it. So those were some of the changes that we achieved with today's video, and also some more power. We finally got tuning back for the regular cab short bed 5-liter F-150. And so one thing I have not done that I've been interested in doing is, before we tune this thing, I want to see what it does stock. So I have my draggy with me. It's all hooked up. We're ready to go. I'm going to go to an open road out here, and we're going to get a 0 to 60 mile an hour time. We're going to get an 1/8 mile time, and we're going to get a 1/4 mile time. Now, full disclosure, this truck has E85 in the tank. It's all adjusted to E85, but it's on its stock tune. With that being said, we're going to run these times. We're going to see what it does stock. I'm going to flash the E85 tune into it, relearn its adaptives, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to do another 0 to 60, 1/8 mile, and 1/4 mile rip, and see what the truck ends up putting down for a time difference. Here we are, stock tune. We have the truck in sport mode, and we got advanced track off. I think I'm going to run it up to about 2,000 RPM and take off. We are in 2-wheel drive, by the way. Foot to the floor.
30. 60. Quarter mile.
All right, there we go. Alrighty, so we just ran our 1/4 mile time with 1/8 and 60 on there, and we ran a 6-second 0 to 60, which is pretty lame. I will admit, I didn't put it in 4-wheel drive just to keep the variables, down. I figured the stock tune in 4-wheel drive would probably be a pooch, so we might even net it a worse 0 to 60. And also, I didn't stall it super hard. I wasn't against the converter super hard. So 2,000 RPMs, that's how I'll replicate it with the next one. But 0 to 60 in 6 seconds and a 1/4 mile time of 14:14. So I'm hoping we can get this thing down into the 12s and a 0 to 60 somewhere in the low 4s, just with tuning. I think that would be a huge difference, and I think that would make this thing a hell of a lot more fun to drive and that kind of stuff. So we're going to get somewhere where I can flash this thing, and then we are going to put a couple miles on it and see how it performs with just a base tune. And then we might do some data logging, send it back over to our boys at 5-Star, have them make some adjustments, and see how we go after that. All right, so here we are with our computer. You can see we're loading on the E85 Performance. We're gonna write this guy onto the Coyote on the side of the road here. All right, so here she's going. We're downloading. The truck is doing its goofy ass stuff where it goes into a bunch of security modes and all that. It goes pretty quick, and now we're erasing. All right, so at this point we have put about 150 miles on the truck, and we're gonna go do some data logs with some draggy pulls. Anyone speedometer? I knew that was gonna happen.
30.
So we got it traction control on this time, sport mode. We're gonna do it similar to what we did last time, 2000 RPM. Jesus, traction control on, it still did a giant burnout.
60. Quarter mile.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's gotta be quarter mile. Alright guys, we're in four-wheel drive, advanced track off, sport mode. We're gonna let this thing rip.
30. 60. Quarter mile.
Okay, so here we are at my desktop computer, and you can see this is what a log or a data log looks like in HP Tuner. So this is what we recorded in the truck. This data logging software is called VCM Scanner. All right, guys, so we took our logs just as I showed you there before, and I want to show you what I emailed 5-Star because that's who I'm working with for tuning, and so they are going to be making the changes to the data logs that I sent them. So now a couple days after sending over our data logs, we get an email back from 5-Star similar to our original email with our tunes in it. And so this tells me that our new revision has arrived. We need to go to our Google Drive right here. And now we are E85 Performance version 2. We got sport mode on, four-wheel drive on, advanced track off, and we're gonna make a 0 to 60 hit here just because it's foggy out. I don't want to get going real crazy, so. Shifts as crisp as I'd like it to. So there we are. I was actually like, you could kind of hear me in the draggy. I wasn't super impressed with that run, and then all of a sudden we run a 4.96, a 4-second 0 to 60. So that's a pretty good improvement over we ran a 5.19 or 5.18 the first time that we are on our original base tune. So revision 2 is a little bit faster. Now, I didn't run it out. It looks like I ran it out to about 1,000 foot, but the 8th mile looked better, of course, as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to data log this thing, let's send it off to 5-Star and see if they can make a couple beep boops on the old laptop and get us something a little more spicy. I got to take a look and see what the ethanol content is, but overall it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the 4-second 0 to 60, and yeah, we'll keep chopping away and see what we can get this thing down to. We're out in the F150 again. We are just data logging revision 2's stuff, and it looks like our ethanol percentage is still 64.5, 65%. So our ethanol percentage hasn't gotten much better, and you can kind of see outside my window here, I'm dealing with a little bit of snowy roads. I will say I suspect that 5-Star is not necessarily tuning up the truck a whole lot, or I should say turning up the truck a whole lot, just because I think our ethanol percentage is a little bit lower than what they want. You know, it's supposed to be E85, we're at like E65, so we definitely don't have the fuel that we should because it's winter time in Wisconsin, but we'll just see what they can do, and if fuel's our limitation, we can't do much about that. So see you guys when we get our revision back. Alrighty, here we are. We got revision 3 back from 5-Star, and we're gonna get this guy loaded onto the COYOTE.
Right entire. Right.
There we go.
60. Quarter mile.
shifts were aggressive. Alright, so that run was not bad, but not much improvement, especially on the 0 to 60. It still ran 487. So, but I can tell you that the transmission finally bumps hard when you shift, which my complaint about revision 3 was that it seemed to flare the shifts a little bit. So I did tell 5-star that we are going to put fresh trans in this thing, so we're going to skip ahead to that. It's actually, at the time I'm recording this, I'm driving to the shop to throw the Richardson 10R80 in it, which you probably already saw the video on that install. So unfortunately, we're throwing a variable in here of changing the trans. This is no longer going to be a completely stock truck, but we're going to push that trans as hard as we can and see how far we can get this truck NA to keep cutting down on those times. So we're going to get that changed, send off a data log with the new trans, and then we will see you for another draggy run here in a little bit. Loading revision number 5. Let's see if this bitch will run.
30. 60.
That wasn't happening.
Quarter mile.
Over here flashing revision 6 onto this thing. Let's go do a rip and see how she does. Alright guys, we're revision 6. We got 4x4 sport mode, advanced track off. We're going to stall it to 2000 and see how she does. I got a gimbal or not, I can't hold this thing straight. Damn. Bro, that thing felt good. Damn. Alright, we're going to try this again because that was slower. And hopefully that's a fluke. I don't know. I'm going to stall it to 2500 just for the sake of it. Unfortunately, you would be seeing the correct number. What the fuck? Mile. Overall, the tuning on this thing went really good. We originally started with 6 seconds 0 to 60, and now we're working with somewhere in the 4.8 range. As you saw from revision 5, we ran a 469, and then revision 6, we ran a 485 as our best time. And that's kind of hard to figure out exactly if we have tuning changes that were not advantageous. If we actually turn the RPM up maybe just a little bit too much, now the truck's making less power throughout the rev range, and then it needs to get back into the power band. So it's hard to say. We also, I'll put up on the screen, we went from a negative 1600 DA to a negative almost 900 DA. So our air did get worse, essentially, is what that's saying. And on something that's naturally aspirated, the air definitely matters a lot. So overall, the truck is way faster. I'm really happy with it. Shout out to the boys at 5-star because they freaking know what they're doing. And if this thing was going to stay naturally aspirated, I would definitely be chasing the changes between revision 5 and 6 and making sure that we optimize this thing completely. I did talk to Dion. He's the tuner, one of the tuners at 5-star, and he said that if we put a Mustang GT manifold on this thing and some headers, we'd pick up like 80 horsepower, and this thing would probably be running like mid 11s. So if we were interested in staying NA, we would do that. But as you guys have seen, we got 2 spinny things, twin turbos going on this thing, and I really don't care how fast it is NA because it's not going to be NA for very much longer. We got a couple weeks till we're going to do twin turbos. So till I see you guys in that video, Make sure that you follow along, subscribe down below. If you got any thoughts on the tuning, leave it in the comments. Until I see you next time, peace.